Hey there, it's Al, the Alchemist from Lost Radio After Dark. Doing a little bit of a tutorial for the Mixtrack Pro Numark, just your basic Numark controllers. Basically, this is where it all started out for me. Uh, Basically, you've got your two platters. Uh, your pitch changes your speeds of your tracks. Uh, your basic effects, your loops, your slider for scratching, your sync button, your cue button, your play button, your starter button. Basically, the way I like to transition is I usually leave this dead center. I don't use it too much. This is your volume overall. This is your left channel volume, your right channel volume. This is basically to load your tracks, and this is a jog wheel to sort of scroll up and down. Uh, Left side right here is your equalizers, your treble, your mids, your bass. Same thing for the right side with the treble, mids, and bass. Uh, what I'd like to do is leave the key lock on, so if you're ever changing the song speed, it doesn't change the pitch, so the vocals aren't going to be messed up. But at the same point, I'm not going to be scratching, so if you actually knock it, it'll do a sort of a scratch noise. So I turn the scratches off. Over here is for your headphones. So this is your Q gain. So this will be the volume dial for the headphones. The Q mix is right here, and basically this is what's currently playing. So that all the way up would be whatever's playing, and then if I had this lit up, I could actually listen to this side without raising this up at all, so it's not going to be recording this. So I've got it set to Q. I've selected this one to be my Q source. And then basically, let's say this is playing, I can just slowly bring it up and I can hear the two tracks together. So we start out basic. We'll do about 120 BPMs to sort of get started. We'll just pick a random song. It's a great song, love it. So we're going to start out, we'll do this side, we'll do this side actually, and we'll play. Then we'll bring it up. Okay, so right now this song is basically 124, it's not supposed to be, so we'll adjust this. The light comes up, so it's actually 123. This tells me how much time is remaining, and the red tells me that it's a good repetitive beat. I find that with the color means that there's going to be a lot of different things. Like when there's a good solid sort of bass line, it's going to give you a nice red color. Turn that down a bit. So let's turn down the volume. Okay, so when I mix, I like to pick something typically within a couple BPM so there isn't too much of a change, or the same BPM. We'll start with the same BPM. On a higher Serato, you might actually get a key, and you can actually set it to be in a number. And I like that because for numbers, you can do, let's say a song is going to be 5A. I don't know, it could be an F, an F sharp, a G, who knows. But I have no musical training, so it works out perfect for me. So the way it works, it's like a clock. 5A will work with 4A or 6A or 5B. And then basically by jumping to one of those within, it'll almost sound seamless, and you can almost play the tracks right on top of each other with it sounding like the same track. It's really fantastic. So Running Up the Hill, I love that song. I think it's Meg Myers' remix of Kate Bush's song. So just looking at it, okay, so what I like to do is go to 4N and basically listen for the loop. So that's loaded up. I'll hit play. I'll just set this to Q so I can actually hear what the track's doing. And then I just give it a couple seconds and see if it's a good repetitive beat. And then I like to set it at like a start of a loop or the line. So basically, just to sort of hear what I'm listening to, let's turn that up. I just want to listen for a good sort of continuous. It's a nice loop, sounds like a normal song. If I want to make it a little bit bigger, then I bring this over to 4 beats or 4 bars, or bring it down to 2 or 1. So this is the amount that your loop goes. So yeah, that's 123, the same as that one over there. So a lot of people like to use sync. I don't, because I don't trust computers. They're going to get the correct beats. So what I like to do is bring the numbers close together. I just rotate this platter and just looking at bringing those two sort of triangles together. So there we go. They're sitting on the same thing. And then I just see how they sound together. So it's not bad. So those will work quite well together, but basically I want to wait until about this part, just because I can tell by this red, there's nothing major, there's not going to be any vocals, it's just going to be a repetitive red sub or bass beat. Over here with the yellows, there's going to be some vocals, there's going to be some higher waves, and you can basically, like looking over here, you want to basically stick red to red. So you know that they will be similar, and if I had the pro version, I could actually tell what key it is, so it could actually work together. So sort of hanging it until it basically reaches the red point. But the way it sort of works is, it's a DJ's job is to basically pick the songs. And basically 90% of it is the songs you choose, and 10% bring them together. You might not be the best DJ, but if you can pick the best music, then you'll have the crowd dancing. Okay, so here we go. So bringing this up. Bring them together. Release the beat. Now we're into the next track. And always keep your eye on the master. Make sure you don't go into the reds. You want to be up there, but not quite into the reds, because that's where you'll get distortion. Here we go. And then let's say that we wanted to bring something in with a little bit higher BPMs. So let's scroll down here. But I don't like to jump too far, because it's kind of unpredictable on how it's going to sound. So I like to stick to 1 or 2 BPMs, just so that there's nothing too major. And I like to use Power Station, because they've got some fantastic songs from unknown people. Let's see, where's the Power Station? No. And basically, it's just, when you load in your crates, make sure you analyze the tracks so you can get the BPMs, the length, and the key. So that way you're not sort of running blind, so you can at least know that the keys will go together. So we're going to jump into 124. So if there's anything I recognize. Wow, there's a lot of people. I've never heard the song, so I'm just going to try it. And switch to Q to over here. and basically start playing. And then judging by the track, this is going to be a really quiet, repetitive intro right here. So I might want to go to here for a good, strong, repetitive beat. If I wanted to come in softer, I would do the quieter one. But right now, I'm just going to set this loop, make sure it sounds good on its own. So what I'm listening to right now on the other side is basically this, which is just a nice, simple, basic, repetitive loop. So when I'm doing the cue and listening to that, and then the other thing I want to do is manually slow this down to 123. And it's with the Numark, it's a little bit hard to get because there's such a small amount. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to hit the sync button just so I can get the exact BPM. But from then, don't trust it to be at a perfect lineup. So basically want to listen to how it is together by bringing these up. And right now we're not really into a beat part, so what I'd like to do is just line it up to where the two numbers, the 109 there links up with the 37, just so that they're in the same sort of area, just so that way it sort of works together, and then sort of line up these triangles. Okay, Big Bears, doing a great job. So we're still holding here, waiting for a good cue point, or a good mix point. And it takes practice. I've spent hundreds of hours just teaching myself, and then just through practice, and it just gets easier and easier, and once you get it, you get it. And then you can move into more complicated machines with different effects. Okay, so here we are. So this looks like a good spot. So sound pretty good together. If I was off at all, I'd get that sort of really crappy double beat, and then I'm also getting too high, so I gotta lower my master. So basically, what you want to do is make sure they, and obviously before you do the transition, you want to hear this on the cue to make sure it's a perfect sort of transition. So once that's sort of bumping, maybe you just want to hold that loop, and you release it. And then you want to bring it back up to speed with a little yellow line, light, and there you go. And that's basically it. And then you can also do effects, cue points, and then the other way of doing it is through the cue. It's a little bit trickier. Obviously stop that track, bring this one up. And the cue is basically, you find a nice cue point, let's say here, and that's a matter of trying to, and then bring it up, holding it, make sure it sounds good together. So that way you're not sitting on a loop, hit it to play, bring it up. So that's how you do it with the cue, and it's just a matter of the timing. Once you get it sort of close, then you can just sort of keep it in the cue, and then bring it to the right spot, make sure it sounds good together. Then to release the cue, you hit play. And basically I just leave this the hell alone. And I turn this off because if, let's say, I'm trying to do the sort of the match, it's a big change. If I take the scratch off, then it's sort of, I put I can do sort of a micro adjustment of the track. The only time I would probably do that if I just wanted to do a really quick transition. So let's say this is down over here. There's going to be a drop at some point. Speed this up. Now let's place it right here. So here's kind of a build-up. Now we go, boom. Right, this is up. It just allows you to go quickly over if they're doing a build-up, and then you're like, and you want to change it quickly, then you just go boom. Or if you're wanting to do a sort of a scratch. But basically, this type of music is typically not too much scratching. It's basically left ear, hip hop, and whatnot. But no, this is where it all sort of began for me, and as you can tell by the dust, it's been well used more recently than not. And yeah. So next point, I'll open up the my Denon MCX 8000, and I hope this helped you out a bit. But basically, just watch your colors, and just sort of get used to it, and make mistakes. You know, nobody's absolutely perfect. And basically, I just learned everything watching Phil Harris and DJ Carlos and Armin Van Buren and Deadmau5. So I hope this is helpful for you guys, and take care, and see you next time.